Hey guys, it's time for reading today, and we are still working on nonfiction strategies. We're taking everything that we've learned and we're putting it all together in one passage. Well, article. Tuesday and Wednesday we did articles. Thursday, Friday, we're actually going to do books. So that's pretty exciting. So I'm going to review with you some of the strategies that we're working on, some of the things that we do with nonfiction, and then I'm going to let you and set you off to do it on your own. Okay, so first off, we have our summary. So when we do a summary, especially for nonfiction, our first sentence needs to be the who or the what and the where and the when. So normally I say like the topic sentence. That's kind of what I think of. So then after I say what my topic is, I explain a little bit about the beginning, the middle, and the end. A lot of the time, especially with articles, I've told you to write about one sentence per heading. So like in the book that I'm going to do with you today, the headings, I would write like one sentence per heading or just whatever I think is appropriate. And it doesn't have to be very long, especially if the article or the book is pretty short. All right, so that's summarizing. Then we have to decide the text structure. Is it description, compare and contrast, chronological sequence, problem solution, and cause and effect? So far, all the things that we've done have been description, right? The author is giving us details about one thing. Now, if they're giving, like compare and contrast, if they're giving us details about two things, then that would be compare and contrast. Chronological sequence is when they tell you the things in order. Problem and solution is they give you a problem and they ask you to solve it. And then cause and effect is the author tells you about an event and then what happens after that event. So we'll practice that today. We've been doing author's purpose, which you have to pick which pied, that's what I always say, P-I-E-E-D, pied, which pied the book is showing you. Is it trying to convince you of something? That would be persuade. Is it giving you new facts and information? That would be inform. Is it telling a story, entertain? Is it teaching you something, like telling you how to do it, like directions or a recipe? Is it describing something to you, telling you how it looked, smelled, sounded, felt, or tasted? And normally with nonfiction, it's either inform, explain, or describe. And finally, one of the easiest, in my opinion, is text features. The hardest part about this is figuring out which text features are which. But there's headings, subheadings, type of print, glossary, table of context, index, caption, bullets, and graphic features. And guess what? There's one on here that I'm letting you use that is not on my anchor chart, and it's called the title. And that is a text feature too. Okay, so I'm going to show you something very familiar because we're going to use it all week. Nonfiction strategies. So you guys are going to read a book today on Epic, and I'm going to put that book right down below. So for some reason, when I assign you books on Epic, you're not getting them. So like I did last time, I'm going to take a screenshot of the book, and I'm going to put it down below, and you're going to have to do all of these nonfiction strategies with that book. So again, I'm going to take a screenshot of the book on Epic. I'm going to put it down below. You'll read it, and then you'll do this over it. But I am going to do it over a book I already have, and it's called Snow. Y'all have seen this book. I've done a clouds one. I've done one on lightning. These are some of my favorite books to do with nonfiction because they're nice and short. So first things first, I've got to go through and find some text features. Well, I know that Miss Simpson said I can do title because even though that's not on our anchor chart, that is a text feature because it tells me the topic of the book. Okay, so now I am going to look through here before I even read it and see if I can find anything else. And lo and behold, what do I find? A table of contents. And a table of contents, you just have to tell me how it helps the reader. So what is a table of contents? Well, it has subjects and their page numbers. Okay, so now turn the page and what do I see? That is called a heading. Ooh. And that's a short phrase that tells me the key point. Remember, you do not have to even read the book to find the text features. That's why I go ahead and do that right off the bat without even reading it. It's a short phrase. It tells me the key point. Now I'm going to keep flipping the page. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go to the back because I think in the back of the book is some of the ones y'all haven't seen yet. Yes, I knew it. Glossary. That we did have that on the tigers one and the orangutan one, but we didn't on Amelia Earhart or Life in Space. But we do have a glossary, and those are the definitions. And then we do have something that y'all don't see often is an index. Now, the index has, again, kind of like, I'm going to put ABC, but it's an alphabetical list of subjects and their page numbers. Kind of like a table of contents, except for it's not by, like, in order of what's going on in the book. Okay, so now as I read the book, I'm going to be thinking, what's the author's purpose? What is the central idea? What is the text structure? And how am I going to do a nonfiction summary over it? Okay, so let's go ahead and, looks like I wrote on the book. Let's go ahead and read this cute little book called Snow. Okay, what is snow? Snow is cold and soft. Snow sometimes piles up on the ground. Snow sometimes melts on the ground. Ice crystals form out of water vapor when the air is cold. Water vapor is an invisible gas. Ice crystals gather together to form snowflakes. Snowflakes fall from clouds. Each snowflake is different. Snowflakes have many shapes. Most snowflakes have 6 sides. Types of snow. Some snow is soft and dry. It feels like powder. People ski or sled on it. Some snow is wet. Wet snow sticks together. People make snowmen and snowballs out of it. So right immediately, I'm noticing that this is giving me a ton of information. It's not convincing me of anything for my author's purpose. It's not just, I've yet to hear these words, look, smell, sound, felt, or tasted. I've yet to see that. I am not being taught to do anything. I'm not being taught how to ride a bike or bake a cake or drive to my friend's house. No. I am getting a whole lot of new facts and information about snow. So I'm kind of, again, leaning towards inform on this one. So I'm, again, between inform and describe. I feel like it might be inform. For my text structure, I can automatically take out compare and contrast because it's only talking about snow. I can take out chronological and sequence because guess what? It's not in order. It's not really telling me dates. I can take out problem and solution. There's no problem, and there's no solving it, and there's no event, and there's nothing that's coming after that event. So again, on this one, I think it's giving me details about something. But let's keep reading to find out. Okay. Some snow is wet. Wet snow sticks together. People make snowmen and snowballs out of it. Blizzards are windy snowstorms. People cannot see through blizzards. Cars can become stuck in deep snow. What snow does? Snow covers the ground like a blanket. Even though snow is cold, it keeps the ground warm. People and animals leave tracks when they walk in snow. Each person and each animal leaves a different track. Melting. Snow melts when the weather is warm. Melted snow becomes water. The water soaks into the ground or runs off into streams. The snow disappears. And then we have a glossary. All right, so yeah, all of my things, all of the things that I said, I think are right. So let's start off with author's purpose. So I do think it's informing me. I think it is informing the reader about snow. And you know when you're filling this out, you can only use complete sentences. I'm not taking anything but complete sentences. So we're informing the reader about snow. And then I have a second part to the question and explain how you know. And I'm going to say there are many new facts about snow, right? Okay, so now let's figure out the central idea. Now, the central idea, I always think of the bubble map. And that is when I have to come up with a sentence that tells me the main thing this book talks about. So obviously, we talked about snow the whole time, but what about the snow? We talked about types, what it does, and melting. So I'm going to say my central idea is I would say snow comes in various types and does a lot of interesting things. And then that could be like my middle part. And so then I could put all of the different types of snow on the outside. I could put the interesting things on the outside. I just need to make sure that I have something in the middle that I can put details that actually back it up on the outside. Okay, so now the text structure, I think the text structure was pretty obvious. I think it's description. It gave me many details about one thing, right? And I already did a bubble map for it too, but it gave me details about one thing. So the text structure is description because it gave me details about about snow. Okay, so now I have my text structure. It's just giving me details about snow. I'm going to go ahead and do my nonfiction summary. So when I do my nonfiction summary, I have to start off with a topic sentence. So I have to say who or what and where or when it takes place. So obviously my topic is snow, but I have to turn that into a sentence. Snow is, and I'm going to get fancy with it. We learned in science that snow is precipitation. So I'm going to say snow is precipitation that falls from the sky. So that's my topic sentence. That lets me know, okay, I'm talking about snow and I'm talking about some things that have to do with snow. So I'm going to look at my first heading, what is snow? And I'm going to reread a little bit of what goes on here so I can write one sentence about my first heading. So my first heading, snow is cold, it piles up on the ground, it melts on the ground, it forms out of water vapor when the air is cold. Ice crystals gather together to form snowflakes, they fall from clouds, and they have 6 sides. So I'm going to say snow is cold and soft. I'm going to put a comma. It is formed of ice crystals that make snowflakes. Okay, so now I need one sentence about the types of snow. So some snow is soft and dry. It feels like powder. People ski or sled on it. Some snow is wet. Okay, so I'm going to say snow can be soft, wet, deep, okay, snow can be soft, wet, or deep. That kind of gives me a summary of the next few pages of types of snow. Snow is wet. Snow, it says right here, is deep. And then what snow does, I think this is my last heading. Snow covers the ground like a blanket. Even though snow is cold, it keeps the ground warm. People and animals leave tracks when they walk in the snow. Oh, I have another one. So one more, I'm going to say it covers the ground and keeps it warm. Okay, I need one more sentence for my last heading, which is melting. Snow melts. Okay, so I'm just going to say snow melts and runs off into, oh wait. Okay, first of all, let's start off with snow melts and soaks into the ground, which is what it says, and soaks into the ground or goes into streams. Now, this nonfiction summary, this is going to take you the longest because you have to go back through and every single heading, you have to, first of all, start with a topic sentence like I did, and then write one sentence for every single heading that you see. So yes, it's going to take you a while, but that's okay. You can do it. This is probably, yes, it takes a while, but this is probably the easiest part to me, besides the text features. That one's pretty easy too. So again, start with a topic sentence and then tell me one sentence from every heading that you see. And the headings are the big, bold words at the very top of the pages. Okay, guys, so again, there is a book right down below. It has a picture of it. So on Epic, you'll go on Epic and you'll just type in whatever the title is down there. Look it up and you'll complete this nonfiction strategies page over it. The anchor charts are also below. So if you forget what something is, just take a look at those anchor charts and that will help you. All right, my loves, I love y'all so much. I'll talk to you later. Bye.